do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Christ.
Please have a seat. I have two goddaughters. Now their ages are 3 and 5. But when they were 2 and 4, I made a mistake one day. I called them because I was going to see them later in the afternoon. It was now 9 o'clock in the morning. But I was going to visit them at 2 o'clock. We were having a party. So on the phone, I said to them, 2 and 4, "Well, I'll see you at 2. And I could hear their dad in the background saying, "Oh no, she's told them a time." So apparently for the next number of hours, every 5 minutes, they asked him over and over again, "What time is it, Dad? What time is it? Are we going now? What time is it? What time is it?" I've learned to be less than specific. What time is it? Well, it's Ash Wednesday time. Once a year, it's that time, Ash Wednesday. It's our memento mori, remember death. It's a reminder this day that we all run out of time, that time in this life will come to an end. And here's the odd thing. When you hear about people learning, say, that they have maybe a terminal illness, that their life is coming to an end, right, that they're going to die soon, a lot of times what you see is that people plan that trip to Disney World, or they plan that trip for spring in Paris, or maybe buy that expensive car that they never would have allowed themselves to have earlier in life when they thought time was limitless. But that's not what we're doing today. That's not that kind of time. It's time to ask this question. It's a pretty simple question, but it's also complicated at the same time. We ask the question of ourselves, am I the person God has created me to be? Am I the person God has created me to be? I suspect we're all here this evening because we know that there are any number of ways that we are not yet. We are not. And we know, however much it is, that we have more time to become the people God has created us to be. That's it. That's what today is about. So we can choose to give up things if it helps us to remember that we want to become the people God has created us to be. We certainly can give of ourselves, of our resources, because that certainly is a way that we understand that's who God is creating us to be, right? And we can make more time to pray, or maybe time to pray, if prayer isn't a part of our life at all, and just start simply. We can just take 5 minutes at any point in the day and close your eyes or keep them open or go for a walk when it's not raining. And just be in the presence of God. That's all we have to do. So these days begin now, these days of Lent, and they're actually not so grim, really, right? I mean, if you choose to give up something that you really, really love, that's on you. But for all of us, let's really think about where we are in our lives. Am I the person God has created me to be? Am I identifying the ways in which I'm not? And instead of despairing of that, having hope. God is guiding me to be that person, and God will always guide me to be that person. And if I can encourage you, and if you can encourage me to be that person God has created all of us to be, then we've spent this time really, really well. Amen.